Welcome back. We are here on the water with Grant Kaple of the Boathouse, and we have arrived at Palmetto Bay Marina. So, Grant, as we look around, tell us a little bit about what this marina has to offer, and we're going to take a look as we talk about it.
So we're doing Dock'n Dine today, right? So there's 3 restaurants here, the Black Marlin, Carolina Crab, and the Sunrise Grill. Sunrise Grill, if you're familiar with the island, you know, that's probably one of the best brunch places on the island.
Spots. Breakfast spot, right? Absolutely.
And so then you've got the Black Marlin, which is one of the Surge Group restaurants.
And that was newly remodeled. And
it was
gorgeous.
It's got an awesome bar looking at it.
Yes, it really does.
And Carolina Crab has done a really good job of remodeling their situation as well. So you've got that, and the Hurricane Bar.
Yeah.
So this is a really cool place if you're a person who has to bring your dog, right?
Okay, pet friendly.
Right. So pet friendly. You get to sit outside and do. And then also too, the Boathouse has a location here as well.
Okay.
For service. So we do some bigger boats here as far as bottom painting and some minor repairs, gel coat and stuff like that. And then we do Yamaha engine repairs, and then all the boats that we sell, we service here too.
Excellent. So a couple of locations for people to have your services of the Boathouse. So now we've made our way over here to your service center, which is part of Palmetto Bay Marina. So tell us a little bit about what goes on here.
So over here, there's no sales going on as far as new boat sales or used boats. So we're just doing Yamaha service. We're servicing anybody's boat that's Broad Creek. It makes it easier for them. They don't have to go all the way around the island to us. We do have the same fork truck here that we had over at our other marina, but we also have a travel lift. So our travel lift can pick up to 60 tons, which seems like a really large boat.
Yes, it does. It seems like a really large boat.
Yeah, so what we're doing with that here is we do the bottom paint for the boats. They have to, annual bottom paint, keep all the crustaceans and stuff off your bottom, right? We'll do details, any gel coat work and stuff like that. And then we'll have outside contractors, or the client or customer will get an outside contractor to do anything for the engines or electrical or any systems inside the boat itself.
Okay. So, but they can leave their boat in the same spot and have those contractors come here and have that service done. So that's obviously a convenience for them as well.
Yep.
Yeah. And there's no storage here. This is just strictly service, right?
Just service. Yep.
And sales.
Yep, sales. And then of course, obviously the storage in this case is in water docks.
And we are back on our beautiful Grady-White, and we're going to head to Harbortown because, of course, no Dock'n Dine would be complete without a trip to Harbortown.
So we're going to be here for a second or two, so we have an opportunity to kind of go through some of the fun items that we have on our boat here. You know, Grady-White, they have fishing backbone, right? I mean, everyone thinks, well, fishing boat, and then you try to kind of, in today's society, fishing's important, but also what we're doing today, which is just cruising with your family and stuff like that. So there has to be a certain amount of comfort involved, right? Sure. So you see things like lots more cup holders, because who doesn't need a slushie while you're driving?
Exactly.
And then, of course, stereo systems are a big deal. People like lots of noise, right? So that, so you gotta
have your tunes while you're out on the water.
Right. So if you just
and these are some really actually pretty impressive speakers.
Right. And then you've got the 2 up here on your. So that it's like an 8 speaker system. So the VHF works really well. Obviously, in our case, I always put XM on it. So XM has a Mariner's package that you can get with it. And so that includes weather. So So like when your weather girl over here is doing the weather, right? And she's looking at Doppler radar and all that fun stuff. So all of that INRAD stuff is available to you. And so the cool thing about that is when you're here, you pick up your phone and you look at your favorite weather app, right? No big deal. Oh, the storms are coming. They're on 95. We need to leave. Well, when you're offshore, you don't have that same advantage,
right? Because
your phone doesn't work.
Yeah.
So that gives you an opportunity. One of the things you have to kind of pay attention to, especially in the summertime, is that because you leave here and it's beautiful, looks like
right,
today.
And then all of a sudden there's just this huge pop-up storm, which happens so frequently in the summer.
Right. And so what I try to do is you're paying attention to it, you pay attention to where it is, but sometimes it's, believe it or not, it's safer offshore to stay offshore than to run home real quick, because as the storms come out, the water's cooler than what got them fired up to begin with, the interstate, right? And all the land mass.
Yeah.
And so it'll start to dissipate. So what'll happen is where you see those high cumulus clouds that are black and puffy and just look like they're going to grow
Like
forever, right?
Very ominous, yeah.
Yeah, and when you're offshore, all of a sudden you start to see them kind of get knocked off. You see the tops knocked off, and you see them just kind of flail out, and you're like, okay, we're good. We're not going to die out here.
Wow, that is really interesting, because I think the natural instinct would be to like,
Flight.
let's get out of here.
Yeah, let's go home. Let's go home. And sometimes it's just, you're just going really into the storm.
Into the storm.
Yeah, just like the perfect storm, right? Where they could have stayed out, they'd have been fine. But when they went in, they were in trouble. So that's some of the stuff that you kind of pick up on now. Obviously, that's super offshore fishing, you're 25, 50 miles offshore, that's a big deal. If you're sitting here inshore, then you need to pay attention to the fact that they're at the interstate and it's time to go home. You just gotta make a call.
Just be aware.
Yep.
Yeah. Well, and that maritime program you talked about obviously is a huge asset in helping you determine that.
Yeah, because some of the other features that are on the boat that are good. So you'll have radar. So radar is kind of helpful in terms of running at night and paying attention to whether or not you're about to run into a marker or a boat or things like that. Also, we've added to this boat, the camera world has gotten less and less expensive, right? And so to this boat, we've added some infrared camera. It's fixed mount, so it allows us to see at night, gives us a little bit better vision. So what I'll do when I'm running at night, aside from having the radar on, is I'll always post two people on either side of the console to yell at me, you're about to hit something. Because what happens is all this stuff, even though you turn it down at nighttime, is still bright enough that you really can't see where you're going.
Yeah, gives you that glare in your face. Interesting. Stay with us for more On the Water with the Boathouse.